For millennia, many people raised a single biblical banner when it came to parenting: spare the rod and spoil the child. It's no wonder, with this tagline and its implications of discipline, authoritarianism, and permission for corporal punishment, that even those of us who consider ourselves believers strongly consider ditching the Bible as archaic and out of touch with modern parenting philosophies. Besides, there are plenty of messages out there that religion might actually be bad for our kids. To look at just a few recent parenting headlines, study finds that children raised without religion show more empathy and kindness. Raising children without religion may be a better alternative, suggests new research. Growing up godless is a good thing. The last time you were at the end of your parenting rope, what words did you reach for to help? The Bible? Probably not. When you needed more support, you likely turned to the Amazon bestseller list or to your go-to parenting blog. Hopefully, they helped get you through that tough time. God can work through authors as well as the ether. But where to start? A quick search on Amazon yields 207,370 books on parenting. Ecclesiastes 12:12 mourns, "Of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh." Sometimes we try to solve a spiritual problem with an intellectual solution, and all that does is turn us into head cases. Even when the intellectual solutions are sound and based on good research, their wisdom often flees us when we are flooded with anger or exhaustion. At best, we are often left utterly confused by conflicting messages from so many different parenting experts, trying to figure out how it all applies to our particular kid at that particular moment. When you are entirely overwhelmed, when you are about to raise your hand in anger or surrender, you don't need a parenting expert or a new theory or approach any more than you need a wooden spoon hanging on the wall at the ready for doling out discipline. You need God, someone stronger than you, from whom you can draw the right kind of strength. Helpful or not, a full 13,667 of those parenting books on Amazon fall into the category of Christian parenting. A lot of that literature seems to fit into one of two theologies. Either our kids are raw material put into the world for us to shape into our masterpieces, or they are fundamentally flawed and in need of our stern correction. Are those really our only choices? Christianity has lost its cool in more ways than one. Look at some of the discouraging and arguably biased research that suggests that religion is bad for our kids. It's scientifically accurate. There is some evidence that secular teenagers are less likely to succumb to peer pressure than religious teens. White teens who are secular are less racist than their Christian peers. Secular grown-ups are less vengeful, less nationalistic, less militaristic, less authoritarian, and more tolerant on average than religious adults. But a lot of the research driving those headlines preaching that religion is bad for our kids are referencing a particular kind of religion and a particular kind of parenting that tends to go with it. As an example, a University of Chicago study found that children raised in non-religious households are kinder and more altruistic than children raised in religious households. The parents of children who refused to share their stickers in a version of something called the dictator game were both Christian and Muslim. They were also far more punitive and judgmental by their own report than the secular parents. They tended to adhere to parenting attitudes and to employ parenting practices proven ineffective in research on instilling pro-social values and fostering positive behaviors in children. Meanwhile, the children raised in secular families were being taught to live by the principle of empathetic reciprocity. In other words, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The golden rule, made famous by Jesus in his Sermon on the Mount. The secular parents may not have been raising their kids with religion, but they were raising them spiritually. They were teaching their kids to live in a Christ-like way, acknowledging that we are each part of something much bigger than any one of us alone, which puts the collective good before individual wants.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.